Welcome back, guys, to my video. Today I'm just doing a really simple makeup look, like my everyday makeup look, and I'm starting off with my brows using a dark brown brow pomade from e.l.f. and I am using a angled brow brush from Wet n Wild to just outline and fill in my brows, and I'll just let you guys go ahead and check that out here because it is a little bit of a process and it's really kind of hard to explain. As you guys can see, it's a little bit of a process, but I do like to take my time. Usually this takes me anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes to do. I did cut a lot of this out so you guys didn't have to sit here all day watching me mess with my brows. But really just take your time because brows frame your face. Okay, so here I'm taking a brow stylist pencil from L'Oreal in the color brunette, and I'm using that to add a little bit more depth and definition to my brows. This color just deepens up my brows just a little bit more. I like my brows to be a very dark brown, but not black, and this pencil is perfect for that. It's not too creamy and not too waxy, so it won't slide around on your face. It's really just the perfect brow pencil to go ahead and be a little bit more detailed and precise because it is really tiny and I just love it. It is definitely one of my holy grail products, and I'm just gonna go ahead and jump back into that brow pomade to go ahead and do my other eyebrow. Okay, now I'm using the Super Stay foundation from Maybelline in a shade that's just one shade lighter, 1 to 2 shades lighter than my skin tone, to carve out my brows and clean them up, make them a little bit more precise looking. I actually like using a foundation for this because it's a lot easier to blend, and it's a lot creamier. This foundation is so easy to blend out and it just makes my brows look perfectly shaped and sculpted without looking too overdone. I find that it's easier to work with foundation below and above the eyebrows for me personally, and the way that it just blends out so flawlessly just makes me so satisfied with the way that my brows look. So that's why I like to use a foundation. I know it's all about personal preference. I know some people don't carve out their brows, but for me it is a very, very necessary step. So here I'm using a flawless concealer brush from e.l.f. This is my all-time favorite brush for my entire face. I like to use this to blend out that foundation around my eyebrows. It just buffs the foundation into your skin so seamlessly, and I just love, love, love this brush. You're gonna see this brush come up in my makeup routine a million times. I have about 5 of them because I use them all over my face for different techniques and things like that. This is a must-have in your collection. As you can see here, I've just laid down foundation, the Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation. I'm pretty sure my color is Classic Tan, and I like to just go ahead and spot conceal with that foundation using that same brush, that concealer brush. And I like to spot conceal with my foundation first just so that I can stipple the product on and concentrate it where I need it the most as far as like acne spots and discoloration goes. I feel like this step helps my second layer of foundation go on that much more flawlessly, and it just keeps everything even and beautiful without having to do a whole lot of covering up. I'm also going ahead with that Age Rewind concealer, and I'm just touching that onto the spots where I have a little bit of extra darkness. And now I'm going in with a foundation brush and buffing in and stippling in my actual foundation now. So before I just used the concealer brush to spot conceal with my foundation, and now I'm actually going in with a real solid layer of foundation. And I like to take my time blending this and buffing this into the skin so that it doesn't look cakey. It just looks smooth and flawless and super natural because I do like for my skin to still look like skin even after I've applied foundation. All right, surprise, surprise. We're jumping right back in with that concealer brush, and I'm using that with my foundation to go ahead and apply it to my forehead. I like to use a smaller brush to apply into my forehead so that way I don't mess up my brows. I can get really precise around my brows and around my edges of my hair. That way it'll fit. If I use a huge brush like I was using on my face, then there's no way I'm not going to get foundation on my hair and my eyebrows. I'm also adding just a very, very, very thin layer of foundation to my eyelids just to even it out and make sure it's the same color as the rest of my face. And then I'm using a damp beauty sponge to blend all of that foundation into my skin together so that it doesn't look cakey or anything like that. This beauty sponge is actually from e.l.f. It's called the Total Face Sponge. And as you guys can see, I get super satisfied when my complexion starts to come together. Now I'm just using the Age Rewind concealer in a lighter color. I'm using that to brighten up my under eye and conceal any dark circles I may have or discoloration I may have. I'm also going to use that on my forehead, on my chin, on the sides of my nose as well. And I am going to really, really blend this out. This is my favorite concealer. It's super full coverage and it's creamy. I also like to take it around my mouth because I do get some shadows and some discoloration around my mouth as well. And I'm going to go in with that concealer brush, another concealer brush, and blend all of that concealer into my skin flawlessly. Now this is very important. I'm gonna go back in with my foundation brush and I'm not adding any excess product or anything like that. I'm just taking that and blending all of my concealer in together so that it just flows and I don't have any harsh lines or anything. This is super important for having a flawless base. And then I'm going back in with that beauty sponge and I'm just blending some more. The key to having a flawless face is really just taking your time to blend it all together. So, you know, just keep on blending, keep on blending. You might get a cramp in your hand. It is worth it, honey. Now I'm going in with another Super Stay foundation shade. As you guys can see, this is much darker than my actual complexion, but I'm just going to use that on a concealer brush to start contouring my cheeks. I actually use this to contour my forehead and my jawline and my nose as well. And I actually use a very, very thin layer of this foundation to contour because I'm not really big on contouring. I don't necessarily do it often. It's not something that I always think is necessary for me. I already have pretty high cheekbones and a pretty structured face, so I don't like to go in heavy with my contour. I like to keep it pretty natural. If anything, I like to contour this big old forehead of mine because it is huge, so that's what I really like to contour. But I'm going to go ahead with that beauty sponge and blend in my contour into my cheeks, my forehead, my nose, and my jawline. Alright, so this is one of my favorite parts of my makeup as well, and that is really setting my whole face. I like to start by baking with the Makeup Revolution banana powder under my eyes, on my chin, my forehead, on the sides of my nose as well, and above my lip, because those are the places that I highlighted with that concealer. So yeah, I'm using the Makeup Revolution banana powder. This is my favorite banana powder to date. It just makes my skin look super smooth and flawless, and it doesn't make it dry or cakey, and that's what I love. And I'm also going to take that on a smaller concealer brush so that I can set my eyelids, because I'm not wearing any eyeshadow today. I just want my eyelids to look super matte and just flawless as well. I don't want them getting oily throughout the day. All right, this is I don't even know what brush this is. I just know that it's from e.l.f. and it's tapered and it's super soft and fluffy. So I like to use this to dust off the powder from underneath my eyes and just everywhere that I was baking. I like to use this to dust it off. And I really like to dust it off really well because you do not want this powder like sticking to your face and just staying throughout the day. You really want it to melt into your skin. So I like to just buff the powder in and also like whisk it away type of motion. I don't really know if that makes sense, but yeah, I'm just buffing it into my skin and also like flicking it away at the same time. Okay, and the powder I'm using to set the rest of my face is the Fit Me powder from Maybelline. It's a loose powder and I'm almost positive it's in the shade medium deep. And I like to use this to set the rest of my face because it's not going to be too light for my complexion. You want to remember that if you have brown skin, you want to use a powder that is close to your complexion or the same as your complexion to set the rest of your foundation so that it doesn't wash you out and make you look ashy. Sis, you do not want to look casket ready. You want to look flawless and snatched. And as you can see, I'm just checking myself out in the mirror to make sure I'm not washed out. And then I noticed that I just need some color and some life brought back into my face. So I'm jumping straight in with my favorite bronzer, which is Soleil by Milani Cosmetics. And when I tell you I go in with bronzer, I take a good 7 minutes to bronze my face because I like to build it up. I use this to chisel my face, bring the life and the color back into my cheeks, my forehead, my nose especially. I love putting bronzer on my nose. I just feel like it just makes your face look super natural and beautiful and radiant, like you went to the beach. And it's the dead of winter, so you know I have not been to the beach. But this is my number one favorite step about doing my makeup is bronzing. What I'm doing here is putting the same bronzer that I used on my face into the crease of my eyelids. I feel like this just gives my eyelid that definition that it needs. It just kind of contours it and brings it back to life because it did get washed out when I applied the foundation and powder to it. I don't actually wear eyeshadow on a daily basis or on a regular basis, I should say. If I'm just wearing makeup to leave the house and run my errands, I am not putting on eyeshadow. If anything, I just pop my bronzer into my crease and call it a day. The blush I'm using is from Wet n Wild. It's from their Color Icon line and the shade is Mellow Wine. It doesn't look like wine to me. It looks more peachy than anything, especially when I put it on my skin. It doesn't give me wine vibes, but I love this blush for my complexion, my skin color. I just feel like it just looks so beautiful. It gives me that perfect natural like blushing look and I love that. I love some blush. Also, I feel like it's just good for the wintertime or when you're going for like a matte look because it is a matte blush. It doesn't have any shimmers, no glitter, no sparkles. So if you're not into that, sis, then pick this blush up because it is beautiful. And then immediately after I do my blush, I go ahead and spray my face down with some setting spray because I am dry. And I'm jumping straight into my Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter. I don't remember the color or the shade name, I should say, but I'll list it in the description to this video. The way I apply my highlight is not very traditional. I know a lot of people just make it look super natural and super flawless right out of the gate. I do not. I like to pack my highlight on super heavy and it looks really crazy, but that's just all a part of the process. You just have to trust the process because I know it looks crazy right now, but the blending that I do to make this look flawless is worth every muscle in my hand and my wrist. Trust me, it's just a part of the process. Also, I think it's super important that you highlight everywhere that the sun naturally hits your face. So I'm talking about your chin, your nose, your cheeks, your upper lip, and even a little bit on your forehead, because you have to think about it. When you're in the sunshine, that's where the sun is going to naturally hit your face anyway. So go ahead and accentuate that glow. Also, a part of blending is using that beauty sponge so that it just kind of melts into your skin naturally, but that doesn't take away from the shine and the glow. Trust me, blending it in with that beauty sponge is just going to melt it in and make it all look more cohesive. And then taking a huge powder brush is going to also help it all blend in together, because you have to think about it. You have on highlight, blush, and bronzer. You all want it to just mesh. Yes, I am feeling myself. I always start feeling myself once my complexion is like perfected. That is my favorite thing ever. I'm gonna go ahead and dip back into that same highlighter and the same highlighting brush that I was using, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop that underneath my eyebrow, and I'm gonna put that on my inner corner as well. That's just gonna wake me up a little bit, brighten up my eyes, make me look a little bit more alive.
I just like the sound. I just like the sound.
Okay, let's jump straight into these lashes. I'm adding the Unique mascara. I'm only adding one coat to my top lashes because I am wearing falsies today, but this mascara is super black and lengthening. So if I wanted to add just 2 or 3 coats, I could go without falsies if I wanted to. And then I'm also going to add that to my lower lash lines, add a little bit of definition down there. The lashes that I'm wearing today are super dramatic, so I did not want to leave my lower lash line out. These are the Eyelure and Jasmine Brown collaboration. These lashes, I'm pretty sure the name of them is just Dramatic because I didn't see another name on the box, but they are so freaking gorgeous and dramatic. I know that dramatic lashes aren't for everyone, but when I'm doing the bare minimum with my eyeshadow or lack thereof, I like to put on some big old lashes so that it looks like I did the most, because I'm just extra like that. And I am just using the Duo Lash, the brush on lash glue for that. You guys, look how dramatic and beautiful these lashes are. Like, seriously, they were only $7 from Target. I was shook at how beautiful they were. They actually look like mink lashes. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go back and get some more of these because they just made my day. Like, they're so beautiful. All right, this is the finished look, you guys. This is my everyday go-to look. Yeah, that's it. I don't think I added anything else. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and be on the lookout for more videos. See you guys next time. Bye.